On the top left side, we have MarcAurel as the Ptolemies. And on the same team, on the bottom right position, we have Chester as the Iberians. On the top right position, we have superPosition as the Ptolemies. And on the bottom left position, we have Rollo as the Spartans. So this is range fixed, and the positions that the players chose was 1-2, 1-2. It means that one player from T1 against one player from T2, and then one player from T1, and then one player from T2. This is a fixed positions variant. So this way, the players are always sided by each opponent, which creates a lot of interesting tactics here. So for example, if this player harasses this one, then this player can communicate to his teammate to harass the other one. And then goes on. It has a lot of possibilities here. Now let's take a look here. Rollo going standard, going for the berries here. He does not have any hunt. At the same time, MarcAurel doing a somewhat standard build here. He has additional berries as well. Now superPosition here on the right, he has some hunt. And Chester here with the extra berries. Okay, and we're back. Now we see here that Chester making women at the moment. He already has the berries upgrade. This should be a pretty not difficult position to hold. Fortunately for Chester, he has a wood line here, so he should be able to protect later on. But I'm not sure he can take it so fast. Let's see what Rollo is doing. Okay, Rollo will not go cavalry anytime soon. And at the same time, superPosition just finishing some infantry. He may hunt or not. If he hunts, he may be able to harass there. But maybe Chester will be able to take these berries sooner than later. But interesting, Chester does not make the storehouse here, which would be a good location to protect these berries. So I'm not sure what he's going for here. If he made the storehouse here, he could protect those berries pretty well. Maybe he'll go for the storehouse at the farmstead right now. Okay, going for the wood. MarcAurel here making only women. Interestingly, okay, yeah, it's the same thing. So as the Ptolemies, you can build women and then build a batch of 5 or even 6 skirmishers, and it seems that's what both MarcAurel and superPosition did for their respective builds. Now superPosition is not using his camo here. He should be able to see this hunt or at least scout his opponent. Rollo going for a good move here, taking the berries first. He also took the storehouse next to the berries. I really like seeing that. He will also have a house here to securely protect his women. Now Chester should be finishing his berries quite soon, and he should go for farmstead here at any moment. We finally see superPosition scouting his surroundings. I think he saw, yeah, he saw this hunt, so I'm not sure why he's not taking it. He will be in some disadvantage if he does not. He's even going for farms at the moment, so interesting decision. I'm not sure it's too good for him. I think it would be very good to take this hunt here. Okay, and he now targets it. Chester going for this farmstead. And so far we see both Chester and superPosition doing a good boom. Rollo starts his first cavalry. Where is Rollo cavalry? Okay, he's scouting his surroundings. I think he saw that Chester has his barristers, but he did not see the farmstead building. He could take some kills here, I guess. Yeah, not a whole lot of... Okay, he has... Yeah, but still, Rollo could take a single woman here. 1 or even 2, maybe. Chester goes for the barracks in this location, which is not bad. With the additional territories, he can make a sentry tower and also secure this metal for later. So we might see a macro start at the moment. We see the MarcAurel going for a little bit of hunt in this location. superPosition did not make a whole lot of cavalry, but he's still keeping up with the boom with the other players. Pretty good for him so far. 17 infantry at the same time. Also in my idle time here from Chester. And we do not see a whole lot of action here. Now we see MarcAurel leaving with some camels. 5 camels here. He finds this sentry tower for superposition.
DSC?
I'm not sure there's a whole lot to harass here, because superposition can build a sentry tower here and defend quite well this wood line. But his barracks are very delayed for Ptolemies. Okay, he starts his barracks right now, just as I say. Yeah, I think putting a barracks like here would be good, because with the territory you can put a sentry tower here and defend from camels. I'm not sure that superposition was able to see the camels from... Oh, and he has his own set of camels. That's pretty good. Yeah. So I think he'll be fine, especially because he has the same numbers of camels as MarcAurel. Now some exposed women here. Okay, he treats them. He should counterattack with his camels. Yeah, not the best sentry tower position in my opinion.
DSC?
Yeah, unfortunately he loses that skirmisher and did not do a whole lot of damage. Yeah, I do not like this sentry tower, because if you have camels in this vicinity here, it's because the opponent is microing or you're in very big trouble. I would like to have seen, for example, a barracks here, and with the territory, he would make a sentry tower here. Because if he has a sentry tower here, and with this one that he already got, he would be able to secure all of this wood line, which would be quite decent. And he has also territory on this location. With this territory, he should be able to make a sentry tower here and totally protect this wood line, in my opinion. But MarcAurel with 2 kills, not too shabby. And we see that MarcAurel is committing to more camels right now, 13 camels. Yeah, I think this could do good damage. It will depend mostly if superposition will be able to defend appropriately. As I mentioned, this would be a good location for a sentry tower. And we see that superposition does not have a lot of camels, so I'm not sure he will be able to defend with his cavalry. His cavalry will just offer some support. Yeah, I think going for a sentry tower here would be good. Okay, I'm not sure. Yeah, some is micro here from superposition, and he loses another cavalry. Now this will be a little bit... Okay, he goes for sentry tower here. Yeah, this will be a little bit difficult. He needs some pikemen here, because pikemen are quite tanky. Send this for pikemen here, and with the javelins and the camels you can provide some support and help deter this attack. Now I think it would be good to start a sentry tower in this location. Even if he finishes the sentry tower, he will not be able to protect this wood line, which is the one that he has his store housing. If he goes to get wood from this location, it will still not be safe, because the cavalry can just target from this side. And we see that MarcAurel is taking a lot of kills here, 7 kills so far, and a very big passive damage by making idle units. So very nice harass from MarcAurel. Yeah, as I mentioned, I don't think this sentry tower protects a lot here. As you can see, there's a gap right in this location that MarcAurel can exploit. That's why I thought that putting the barracks here would be a little bit better, because then you get the territory, you can put a sentry tower in this location, you can protect this very well. But so far, we see that MarcAurel has got the lead over superposition. That's pretty good from him. Nice harass. And superposition only killed a single camel. some heavily damaged camels here. And MarcAurel still has 8 active on the map. And continue the pressure over superposition. Some kills here would be really decent. Unfortunately, MarcAurel hits H and some units behind that were not in range are not attacking. In this case, it's better to use attack move. And some nice passive damage here. Also some unprotected woman, he might be able to get a single kill here if he targets fire.
ESD?
Rollo not doing a lot with his cavalry. Okay, MarcAurel getting some good kills here.
ESD?
And we see Chester creeping in Rollo's territory. Now Rollo is protecting against MarcAurel. He's not aware of what Chester is doing, but he should be able to see by the map here, by the territory, that Chester is creeping in. So an outpost or maybe a sentry tower in this location would not be bad for him. Now we see 8 camels active for MarcAurel, and he still only lost the first camel on that first attack, so pretty good for him so far. We see also that Chester is booming quite decently here. Already 142 population over Rollo, which is 124, but Rollo is known for making a lot of skitty mid game, so this might push back against Chester. Rollo has some metal here, and he's not using it to make skitty, which is strange. I'm not sure why is that.
ESD?
Okay, MarcAurel coming back for some additional harassment. It also makes an outpost to see what superposition is doing. That's quite good. Okay, an outpost here from superposition. That's not bad to defend against this. The fire from an outpost when it's a single unit garrison is actually greater than the from the sentry tower. So as you can see here, 16 pierce. And if you take a look at the sentry, it has only 9 pierce. And it's the same rate of fire, 1 arrow every 2 seconds. So it's pretty interesting that when it's a single garrison, an outpost actually deals more damage than a sentry tower. Okay, we see that superposition is trying to do some harassment here on Chester, but yeah, unfortunately that does not go too well for him. I think he's trying to outpost here Chester. I'm not sure what these units are doing. Maybe he went a little bit overconfident. But we see that Rollo is catching up to Chester at the moment, which is pretty interesting. Is Chester going for P3? Okay, just about. Is he building? Yeah, okay, he will build right now. A market here. Very aggressive market. With that, Chester should be able to P3. And Rollo should be also as well. As soon as he just gets his stone and metal, which should be now. Now, will he wait for his units to finish your queue? I always cancel. It's almost always better just to finish to get the city phase first, because then you can get upgrades and compounds quite quickly. And with the resources, you can make an additional barracks or just make the next batch bigger. Okay, and we see that Chester was able to successfully deny this location for Rollo. Now, both Rollo and MarcAurel are not contesting these minerals here. And we see also that MarcAurel has stopped with the harassment, which is not really great. He could be healing these camels here. But he has 18 now, so he should be able to still do some good harassment. Okay, MarcAurel coming here.
Yes, see?
Unfortunately for superposition, he did not garrison. Okay, he did just now, that's good. And it's upgrading to a defense tower. Now we see actually that, yeah, MarcAurel is 20 population ahead of superposition. Okay, superposition does not lose this sentry tower and is able to garrison all units there. And losing some units here as well. Just a single camel loss for MarcAurel with a lot of passive damage. That's pretty good. Now we see that Rollo just achieved city phase. Now Chester already did at the same time. And Chester is going for the storehouse on Rollo's side. Is Rollo aware of this? Yeah, he should be able to see just right now. As soon as Chester finishes this. And I think that Chester might even be able to make a barracks or a temple here and maybe even make a tower here to deny this woodline for Rollo, which would be quite bad for Rollo. But Rollo is a little bit busy trying to secure his border with MarcAurel. Okay, we see a military colony here from superposition. Unfortunately, I think I would like to see the military colony here because he's the one that has been engaging MarcAurel the most. So yeah, it would help defend from an incursion from this side and even the camels, because then the camels would not have an incursion route here. It would have to pass through the military colony or through two garrison towers. And Rollo moves out to this wood line, which is quite risky because then he would be out of position against Chester. So maybe Rollo should make a storehouse here, or will he react to Chester? Now we see that he has 11 skeletai. And also he does not have the third wood upgrade. He's not researching it, but he has the first armor upgrade. Okay, Rollo is mounting a counter-attack here on Chester to deny this incursion here from Chester. I'm not sure he will be able to achieve much without siege, unfortunately for him, because these stars are quite tanky, man. We see also Chester going for a fort in this location. Chester has the population, but I'm not sure he can stretch too thin here. Fortunately for him, Rollo does not have siege, so Rollo will not be able to bring this fort down, this defense tower down. Now Rollo will be able to get some good kills here, but he cannot stay for too much longer. Especially against the Iberian towers, only with the cremulations and also the food upgrade for the additional arrow. Now interestingly, we see that superposition has reached the city phase before MarcAurel. So I'm not sure what MarcAurel's response might be. MarcAurel making some sword units and superposition as well, that's good. Now, since Rollo sees that Chester, well, he should be able to see the territory from Chester creeping in superposition, and he knows also, he might know that MarcAurel has been harassing superposition. I think making a fort and moving on with some rams against superposition would be a good move. Some is micro here for Rollo, not using attack move. The whole time where the units are moving, they are taking damage from the ranged units here. Still Rollo, yeah, he has a lot of numerical advantage here, and he might also have military upgrades. Yeah, Rollo has some military upgrades. over Chester. Unfortunately, Rollo does not have the economic upgrades. And we see that Rollo took already 52 kills against only 30 from Chester. But now we see that Chester is moving back from this position against superposition. I'm not sure Rollo can stay here for too longer. He's overstretching. His units are a little bit uncoordinated here. Okay, he groups them up right now. That's good. He maybe will have to retreat quite soon. And Rollo leaking some units here as well, taking fire from fully upgraded. Not fully, but in terms of arrows, fully upgraded defense tower. Some camos here from MarcAurel. I'm not sure they can do very much there. Yeah, this is time to go. You can't do very much here. And Rollo's still leaking some units here. Take a look at the health of these units, and they were fully healthy. You can see here how staying under tower fire is bad. Yeah, these units from Rollo are dead. Look at the numerical difference here. Not much Rollo can do. Now MarcAurel just finished the city phase. We see superposition trying to make a fort here, but it might be too ambitious. I think a better fort location would be by this position here. He can't deny these camos here. These camos can keep firing forever. I mean, you can build, but you take a lot of losses here. Okay, and we see MarcAurel moving in with his units to try and deny this fort. It might be very difficult to hold to it, yeah, and he should cancel. Just get resources back. Make a more conservative fort location. Near his CC probably. Now we see Chester counter-attacking Rollo after that initial incursion. Not too much action on this border. We see a lot of action in this border and in this border. Now Rollo has a better concave than Chester and has the infantry population advantage. I'm not sure how many barracks Chester has. And we see that Rollo has 115 kills already. You should not be building this temple, my friend. You need to be attacking. You are taking damage while you're building the temple, and it will not pay off. I think it's a little bit of a mistake here. We see that Rollo has some military upgrades and Chester has none. Yeah, Rollo took like a lot of damage there and he did not even finish the temple. I did not really like to see that. Look at the health of these units, man. Fortunately for Rollo, his tank units just arrived, his Kiritai. They should be able to hold for a while, but he really needs to finish this temple as soon as possible. Okay, but staying here on the tower fire is not good either. Now on the other flank here, we see that superposition is pushing back MarcAurel. MarcAurel does not have a fortress yet. So MarcAurel cannot make too much siege at the moment. And this might give superposition some space to get back to this game. We see that superposition has even more technology upgrades than MarcAurel, which is interesting. Now Rollo finished the table, but he did not garrison the damaged units. Look at that. He should have garrisoned these units on the temple. Fortunately, he will lose them quite quickly. He wants to finish this fortress. Yeah, this fortress will be denied. But I think Chester will lose a lot for this. And we see that Chester population is dwindling quickly. Look at the infantry advantage for Rollo. Chester is not getting a lot of wood, it seems. Even with the phase 3 upgrade for wood. We see also that Rollo has all the economic upgrades, which is quite good. And I think it's nice that Chester wants to deny this fort, but he'll take very bad losses here, and this siege ram will not be able to do much against 30 Skiritai. This would be dangerous here. We also see some stalemate between superposition and MarcAurel, and this might be good for Rollo because then he can push back against superposition. And we see that Rollo finally finished the fortress, going for 2 rams. And Rollo needs to take this tower down as soon as possible or avoid any engagements in this location. This ram will melt quickly, my friend. Rollo unfortunately no melee upgrades, but he's chasing this ram with a lot of Skiritai and taking fire in the process. Look at that. All of this Skiritai just to pursue this ram. So yeah, Rollo needs to pay more attention to these micro mistakes, because this one was an easy fight for him to take. All these units could be already dead if he did not spend so much time going around the ram. Now doing the correct choice here, just going with 2 Skiritai. He might be able also to see that there's a lot of women in this location. Now I hear some catapults. It seems the superposition is attacking Chester from the other side, while MarcAurel, since he was so delayed with his fortress, does not have siege to try and push back on the other side. But these catapults, they will take a long time before they're able to do any relevant damage against this fortress and this siege tower, especially against Iberians.
Yeah, see?
Now Chester does not have any anti-ram here. There's no reason why Rollo retreats. I'm not sure why. There's no reason to retreat there. And yeah, I think superposition will take this tower from Chester. Very good.
Yeah, see?
Now we see some pushback from MarcAurel on this location. MarcAurel with somewhat of an advantage in infantry, 20 additional soldiers plus the cavalry. So this might get a little bit risky for superposition, and he's stretching too thin on both sides. Now we see that Rollo is coming out with his rams. He should be able to take this tower down, especially since Chester did not garrison it with swordsmen. Usually it's a good practice to garrison with swordsmen, so you can push back against any ram push. And this might be a good fight here for superposition. I mean MarcAurel. MarcAurel with the single upgrade and superposition with no military upgrades. Yeah, this could be a good fight for MarcAurel. Look at the population difference. But we see that MarcAurel does not have the best composition at the moment. He has almost no ranged units. And he's under very high, very intense tower fire. Now it's really low. Rollo pushing back against Chester. Chester with not the best economy. Chester with only 25 women here and some idle. He moved some women back to wood, and yeah, I guess that's what happened. That's really unfortunate for Chester here. And we see a GG from Chester. I'm not sure if the game is finished. MarcAurel unfortunately was not able to push back against superposition fast enough. Oh, it's a lot of resources here from MarcAurel. Does he have will to fight? Oh, he does not have will to fight. Yeah, Rollo can do quite well here against Chester. And yeah, I think, yeah, it is over. Look at this. This tower is doing damage. This one as well. Yeah, I think this is GG. Yeah, we see the GG from Chester. Really interesting matchup. So we saw that MarcAurel did a really decent Camo Rush over superPosition. But superPosition did a really good job holding up, tacking up. He had way more economy technologies over MarcAurel. He was able to defend quite efficiently against him and bought time here. Now, what happened on the other side was that Chester tried creeping in Rollo's territory, but he was a little bit overambitious, and also he was stretchy too thin because he also was concerned over superPosition creeping on his territory. So he did not fight with full force on this flank, and he lost a lot of units. And well done for Rollo, and well done for superPosition. That's it for this game.